we're talking about your journey and with everything that happened. And so if we're starting right at the beginning, and when we first met and the amount of morphine that you were on, tell us a bit more about how you got to that point.
About 25 years ago, 27 years ago, I had 2 spinal operations. The pain I was getting was really bad for crushed discs, nerve damage through the operations, and that. I'd been on normal medication, painkillers, but it was not doing anything. Then I got put on buprenorphine. I started taking that, but it was starting to go up and up the dose, until the dose that I was taking for buprenorphine became very, very high. I moved to where I was now, and I got a new doctor, and I was put on MST continuous morphine and Sevidol morphine. One's a slow working morphine and one's a very fast working morphine. And over the years, it just started to get increased, and there seemed to be no limit on what my increasing could get to. And eventually, after all of that, that's when I met you, and I met a new doctor who, because my doctor had retired, and then this process started off.
When we look back now at it, how do you think opioids have affected your life?
They totally destroyed it, to be honest, brutally honest. I was never in control of me, Mark. I didn't know who Mark was. I lived, breathed opiates every second of that 25, 27 years. But it wasn't just for me, it was how it destroyed everybody around me, or how I destroyed everybody around me. The opiates just totally took over. It was, something that went on that I just didn't know totally about, if that's the way of saying it. It was like being in a nightmare, but never having control of what you were doing. Yeah.
That's really good, Mark. And I know you told me you found, you worked out ways of getting more.
Yeah. Am I allowed to say that here?
Well, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I found a way through my surgeries, automated prescription form, when you phone up, of how I was getting sometimes 7 to 10 days extra a month. Putting it in early. There was just seemed to be no controls over it. Nobody ever phoned up and went and said, "Hey, Mark, you're putting this in a week early, and for the amount of morphine you're getting anyway, this would take it to another level." Nobody ever did that, and this went on for years and years and years, so I was getting a lot more than what I should have.
And while this was going on, Mark, what was your pain doing?
The pain, as you know now, it never got better, because of the opiates, because I'd been on them that long, and how my body needed them. My brain was keep on saying, "Oh, you need more to get this pain down," but it wasn't. In reality, it wasn't like that. All I was doing was feeding my addiction of morphine, of opiates. That's all I was doing, you know.
Okay, so if we think back to when we first met, when we started having the conversation and we talked about the risks and the harms from the morphine, what do you think, if you could think of one thing that you took from that, what do you think that would be? Or if there's more than that, what, from what we talked about, what do you think really hit home?
You know, when I think of that now, Sam, I can remember coming in to see you, and I had decided within myself to even try to do this. I had to be so honest with you about what I was getting up to with the opiates. And I can remember telling you about how I was taking it, and it was never as prescribed, you know, and especially the fast-acting morphine, when you were telling us what mills would kill a normal person to what I was taking, and how much of it I was taking in one go to get where I needed to be. I think that really even wiped me, you know, it really hit hard, on how dangerous this had become. You know, I know you had always told us I forgot the word, of how my body reacts to morphine because I had been on it so long. But even what I was up to was just, it horrified me, and you know, that shook me to the core.
Thank you, Mark. I know that's something you've reflected on quite a lot with me about that conversation. And I don't think I was the first person to talk to you about it either, was I? What do you think, like, what do you think it was that made you go, okay, I need to work with them?
I was so dead inside. Most of those years, especially from about 2005, all I ever did was lie on the settee. And I've met friends since then who knew us all back then and said, Mark, you were just walking around, you were like semi-comatose all the time. I was so tired of, well, to be brutally honest, being high as a kite 24 hours of the day, every second. And just, it was just a horror story. It was a horror show for me. And I knew there was Mark deep down inside of me knew this was my chance to get off this stuff. Because I used to do a lot of research about morphine, and I was, you know, when all this went on, I was really horrified about how much I was on and how much I was taking, how much I was abusing, and also what it did to us and what it was doing to other people, you know.
I can remember you when we would sort of have our review appointments, and you would tell me about the latest thing that you'd learned. And sometimes, Mark, being honest, you knew more than I did on what could happen and things like that. And so, you know, you always put your work in with it. So when we were having those review appointments, because I would see you sort of every month or so, wouldn't I? Or I'd speak on the phone. How do you think it was going to? Because when we talk about starting an opioid reduction, it causes a lot of anxiety, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
As we were going through it, do you think it was easier or harder than you thought it was going to be?
To be brutally honest, it was a total nightmare. And it was, you know, Sam, it was so hard, but I'll never ever dream of saying it wasn't worth it, you know. But there is so much help in place now from like you, my doctor, my addiction counselor that I had. It's something I would never want to go through again. But like I say, you know, I'm so glad I did go through it. I really am, you know.
You did fantastic, Mark. Never ever forget that. What happened to your pain levels? Started reducing things?
When the morphine started to get reduced, pain levels in my head will keep saying, you need more, you need to take more, you need to take more. Morphine, it works when you're on extremely low dosages, and I mean extremely low dosages, but then it doesn't work. You know, you get used to it so fast that when you take it, your brain starts saying, oh, well, that's not working, the pain's getting worse, and you have to take more. And now looking back, I know that wasn't the pain. That was the morphine addiction in my body telling me that. I've been off morphine now a year, and I know it was all psychological with the pain. Yeah, I'm still in pain, of course I am, but not to the degree that my brain was telling us over that time period. You know, that was just like, just keep shoveling the morphine, the opiates into your system, you know. So the pain, yeah, it's all a lot of it's psychological, if that makes sense.
No, it does, absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head really well there. And when you remind me it's been a year, I had the biggest smile on my face because I'm like, so pleased and proud of you. When things felt really tough, what kept you going?
I had 3 incredible ladies around us from the NHS who were putting up with my little tantrums now and then. I just didn't want to go back to being so dead inside, you know. I really didn't. I was tired of hurting people, you know. It's something that I was so wanting to do, but never had the opportunity. And then I had this opportunity, you know, to keep going, to keep trying, you know. And I just didn't want it to beat us. Did that make sense?
Yeah, no, that absolutely makes sense. Was there anything that you think we did that really helped you?
Yeah. I can remember when I first came in to see my doctor, my new doctor, and she went and said, look, the amounts that you're on, we have to get down. And I was like looking at her thinking, well, you've got no chance of this, you know, you've got no chance. And how she put my mind at ease that she would back us up no matter what, you know. And then when she brought you in, I was also getting the shocks of of what you were talking about on, like I said before, on how dangerous these levels have got to, you know, the constant comfort, not understanding of us being involved with it, but understanding that I needed so much help, and that yous were there to give us it. And then when you brought me addiction counselling, the three of yous, it was like all the way I was walking through getting off the morphine, yous three were always around us, and I got so much strength off that. If I had any problems at all, I could talk to you three about it. And having that respect helped a hell of a lot as well, because I know I would have never been able to have done this by myself. I would have just walked out of that office that day and went, you've got no chance, because I'd had that many people in the past, medical people, telling us you will never get off this, you know. So yeah, I've always said since day one how much yous of three have had my back on this and still have my back, you know. So yeah, the help is out there for people who want to do this, you know, it really is.
So, a year clean, Mark.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks. Yay!
I know.
Can't believe it, like.
So after opioids, how do you feel now?
I can actually look down at my hands now and know there's blood going through there, but there's no death, because opioids is death, you know. It's not easy. You know, I'm still in very early parts of recovery, even though I am a year clean. You know, I'm dealing with a lot of other issues of what the opiates covered, what the opiates did to us and stuff like that. But I'm clean, you know, and that is just, for me, it's just absolutely incredible, you know, absolutely incredible, because I never ever dreamt that I would ever become clean off morphine. That was, you know, 25, 27 years. It's a hell of a long time to be on that drug. So I never even thought about one day I'll come off it, you know, and now the reality is starting to kick in, that I am free of this drug, and I mean free of it, you know. That's how I feel, you know. It's beautiful, you know, going to bed at night and close your eyes knowing it's not in you. When you wake up in the morning knowing it's not the first thing you will go for, you know. Starting to get emotions back. Like I said, it's not easy, but it's beautiful at the same time. I care about people now, and I'm trying to deal with my past as best as I can. Not easy. I never say it will be easy, you know, but it's, yeah, it's, you know, it's beautiful being off that drug. Beautiful. Yeah.
That's amazing, Mark. And I know earlier you described how you spent a lot of your time before, when you were on the morphine, just lying on your sofa. And that's changed, hasn't it?
Oh God, yeah.
A little bit about that. What's changed?
Yeah. Well, I can do things now. You know, I can get about. I've got a lot of new friends now. I'm working a 12-step program of recovery. I'm trying to get more active. I'm trying to deal with my mental health issues of my past and being on this drug and what it did. And like you say, I'm just not, you know, practically dying on that settee, you know. day after day after day. I'm getting a life. That sums it all up. I'm getting a life I never even knew existed out there, you know, because you get so normalized in just waking up, if I even got to bed off the settee, and just lying. And we're talking years and years and years and years and years on that settee, just lying there in a world of your own. But now that doesn't happen anymore, you know. Yeah, it's just so unbelievable. It is, it really is.
I know last week when we met, it was the first time we'd seen each other in a year, really, wasn't it? Because of COVID and things like that.
Yeah.
And from my point of view, the physical transformation as well, you've lost weight, you had a bounce in your step, you know, and it's just been brilliant to see.
Thank you.
It's been fantastic. What would you say to someone, another patient who's at the start of this journey, or who's medical person, whether it's a doctor or a pharmacist or a nurse or whoever has gone, you know, we really need to think about this morphine or this opioid and think about reducing it, and all of that comes in, thinking of all that anxiety of how, you know, of what comes with that. What would you say to that person, do you think?
Well, one, I know, obviously from bitter experience, their walls will go straight up because the drug is telling them they need it for their pain, you know. I would tell them that, you know, it's not going to be easy coming off this. You cannot lie to them, you know. I'm not saying that you would, maybe that was the wrong thing to say, but it's what I would be thinking. Because their body needs that drug. Simple as that, you know, it needs it, you know. So you're trying to take it off them, so their head is straight away saying no, you know. But it is so worth it in the long run for them. And like, you know, there's so much help now with a person coming off opiates or whatever. It's a long road. There are a hell of a lot of ups and downs, but you know, there is light at the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel. You know, there really is. You know, you won't believe it at the beginning. I didn't. I just thought this would just end up in total disaster, but it didn't. You know, yeah, it's worth doing. You know, and you've got, like I say, you've got that much help in place nowadays. Something I never had back then, you know, but you have now. It's worth it.
What would you say to a prescriber if they were considering to start an opioid in somebody who has long-lasting pain? So not for cancer, not for a broken leg or anything like that, but your kind of position. What would you say to that prescriber if they were going, I think I might start morphine to try and help the pain?
Morphine is, to me, like a two-sided sword. You're right, it's okay in certain circumstances, but for long-term pain, it's useless. It is absolutely useless because you get addicted to it too fast and your tolerance just goes up and up and up. So you have to keep on going back to your doctor to say, look, if this is not working now, I need an increase. And the increases keep going up and up and up, and it doesn't work. It will destroy their life. It will destroy everybody in their lives. And eventually, what happened to me they'll go through, because it's not like saying, right, 10 milligrams, 5 milligrams, 3 milligrams will work forever. It doesn't, becomes useless. It's no good, you know. And if there's one thing, and that's what this is all about, this video, look what it did to me. Now, I know the doctor who initially put me on morphine back at the beginning didn't sit there thinking, well, I'm going to give him this drug, but it's going to destroy his life and everything. He thought, oh, this will help him. But I'm sorry, it doesn't. It just destroys. That's all it does in the long run. You have to find something different, you know.
So that was all the end of the questions that we had for you. Was there anything else that you'd want to tell patients or prescribers, or anything about your journey that you'd want people to take from it?
You know, with this, I've learned a hell of a lot about where I've been with this, what it was all started out for, how much, as I've went and said, how much help there is in the NHS now, you know. And for anybody who's watching this, who's having problems coming off this, the most important bit of advice I can give you is be totally honest with your doctor, your pharmacist, or whoever else in the NHS is in here with you, helping you come off it. If you're abusing it, tell them how much you're abusing, exactly how much you're abusing. They need to know, because it'll help so much with what you're going to go through, that they know what you're up to, you know. At the end of it, it is, like I've went and said, it's an unbelievable feeling, you know. It isn't easy, as I've said, it's not, you know. As for prescribers, doctors, student doctors, whoever is thinking about giving this opiate out, please don't do it. Don't do it. For long-term pain, as I've said, there's only one thing at the end of it, and I'm sorry, that's death, you know, unless you get off it. And it will just break you down until the addiction, the morphine, whichever you want to look at it, has 100% control of your life. You can't do anything. And is that what a doctor really wants to do at the beginning? No, no, that's not, you know, they want to help, but this is not the way to do it, you know. And for anybody who is still having problems with the morphine, you know, like I say, there's loads of help out there now, loads of it. And people, NHS staff, so want to help, you know. They know what situation it is now, how bad opiates have gotten in this country now. We're getting like America, you know, and anybody can read up on that, you know. But now doctors, medical staff are doing stuff about it, you know, and we can get clean. We can stay clean. We can be off this drug. And it's worth going through all that to get off there. I hope this helps.
Mark, that's brilliant. You've done so well. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So proud of what you've done anyway, you know that.
I know.
But I think that was really good.